how's region been going post Open Cup and preparing for Tormenta tomorrow?
Yeah, it's all about play and recover. As part of the guys, we're trying to really get a win on Wednesday. So trying to open the homestand. We owe City Stadium and the fans a good game, and we think that was really fun.
And then coming in Tormenta, what are some of the challenges that they present with a little bit of a new look? They had changed over quite a bit of their roster in the offseason. What have you seen in their early games?
First, Ian's a good coach. They'll be organized. They're behind the ball. They're counterattacking. They're younger. They're feisty. Good on set pieces. So it'll be a 97-minute game.
I know Wednesday was not a league game or league match, but you got a win, and that was big. How big was that win as you now go back into league play this weekend?
Something people have to know. We're committed to the long term here. And last year we played a lot of young kids. First game against Spokane, I started 2 17-year-olds. We're committed to that. And with that comes some speed bumps. Some of our fans aren't so happy about that. But the long run is going to be a good thing. And what I'm happy about is that the development of those kids have now fostered a win. And we're looking to go get another one tomorrow. Kids are doing it.
When did that kind of change to a certain degree as far as looking not short term, but bigger picture, long term with the future of this franchise?
There's some crazy number, like 196 pro soccer teams have folded in the United States in the last 40 years, okay? We won a championship in 22. We won a trophy. And Rob and I sat down, and there was this collective bargaining agreement for the players where they get paid more money, which we're happy for them. But more money for players means less money for owners, doesn't it? And no team makes money in our leagues right now. Nobody does. We're getting there. We're working towards it. So the way to do that is to do what they do in Europe. Lower tier teams in Europe develop players, sign them to their first team, sell them on to bigger clubs, and in the long run, the club makes money. That's where we're headed. The problem is that when you start that process, you got to play 16 and 17-year-olds, and when you're playing against grown men, it has its speed bumps in the beginning.
I know the team has been dealing with an injury as of late. How difficult has it been with the tight turnaround for the first 3 games so far, and how you've been managing that?
Yeah, man, anytime that you don't have Emiliano Terzaghi on the field, or Nathan Onage, or Romero, and Key, our new center back, it's hard, right? But kids are stepped up. Griffin Garnett's done amazing, and we've had to go after our depth, which I think is stronger this
Adrian
year.
Billhart has been a delightful surprise so far. 2 goals in 2 games. He's been looking really strong on that right wing. How is it having a player like that who can not only spread out the attack vertically, but also get in behind? It's been a nice puzzle piece for you to use.
Yeah, no question. We've had guys like Ethan Bryant and Jonathan Bolaños in the past. They've complemented people like Neil and Emmy. When you put all the onus on, at the end of last year, Neil was the special guy on his own, and it made it a little bit difficult. If you can have extra guys to the attack coming from different places, you have a better chance of winning games. Once we're fully healthy, I think you're going to see Adrian do even better.
Recently in an interview, Ian Cameron mentioned how Tormenta players will be relishing to play in City Stadium because of the atmosphere, and looking to quote unquote hush the crowd. How you spoke about before in the past, how important is it to come here, make City Stadium a fortress, and have section over how you raring to go?
Yeah, we talked about it at the end of today. We owe City Stadium and the fans here exactly what you're asking for. It should be a fortress. We should win all games here, and we know for sure that there's no team's going to hush our crowd.
And my last question is, you have some fantastic battles against Tormenta over the past couple of years. How are you looking to use your possession-heavy system to cause problems for Tormenta, who's been struggling with it in the early goals of the season?
For a club that can't spend money like crazy, we don't go out there and open up the checkbook. So we have to do it together. That's why we're a possession-based team. If you go buy the next shiny object that's fast and lightning, that's not something that we do. So we need to do that in order to be competitive. The beauty is, I think it sets up well against a team like Tormenta. They're young. We just got to make sure they don't pop us on counterattack.
Okay.
What is the status for Zaga?
He's close. Some fans are upset and say dumb things. So I read these things, I hear these things. It's at the end of the day, we're hopeful that Emmy's ready. He should be eligible for the Fuego League. Won't be eligible this weekend, but he should be eligible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
So you started the season last Saturday. Yeah. Then you went into U.S. Open Cup play Wednesday. Back to league play Saturday.
Here we go.
Do you kind of like it where you go league, kind of exhibition, then back to league, or do you are you having that focus of I want to stay on one side of the line either way?
Well, first, it's awesome that you're playing Wednesday games and there's fixture congestion because that means you're hunting trophies, right? You're in the competition. But the bigger thing is, the USL has introduced the new Interleague Cup, so we're actually doing it all year. So like every week we got to check, man, is this a League Cup game? Is this an Open Cup game, or is it a regular league game? So our concentration's on all of it. But I'll go back to what I said. If we're playing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, it means we're in the hunt for trophies.
And the development of the young guys. How do you like it at this point right now?
I think that people underestimate these. You got Landon Johnson, who's 17. You got Griffin Garnett, who's playing 180 minutes already. He's 17 years old. You got Nicholas Simmons, 17 years old, just played for the U20 Jamaican national team. They're good players and they're great, but we also know that they can't sustain that day in and day out. They will eventually, but we got to make sure the guys get healthy so we can spell them. But we're happy with the guys. Mika's doing an amazing job with the academy, and it's growing daily.
With that academy, I think it was the under-20 team just made it to the final of US Open Cup, correct? How do you rate that performance, and how does that further boost your confidence in them to like, hey, we're on the right track of getting these guys developed and ready to go?
The reality is we have Richmond United Partnership that acts as our academy system. This year we added the USL Academy, which is a supplement. It's a U20 team, and that's where they were at the USL Academy Cup. Made the final, lost in the final. It was a good game, but lost in the final. So the trajectory of our academy is only headed upwards. So over the next 10 years, this thing should be big.
All right. How difficult? I'm sorry.
Where are you from?
How difficult was the decision to go younger and develop more, as opposed to, I don't say sacrifice the short-term goal? How difficult was it in your position? How difficult was it?
Let's talk about it in a different way, and then we'll talk about me. For me, it stinks, right?
Yeah.
I want to be able to go spend a lot of money and buy the next shiny object, right, every time. And it's what people moan about. But you take a family like the U-Crop family, Rob and his father and all these people that have been involved, they've given so many resources to this program for so many years, from youth to the pros. We can't keep asking guys like that to spend millions of dollars, right? They're awesome and they do it, but we got to try to find a way to reward them, and there's a way to do it. So we have a way. People in the community need to be patient, knowing that that's what it's going to get, because otherwise you're just going to keep having things fold and stuff, because people with money love the sport, but not if they're losing money every single year. You got to give them a chance to make some money if they can have fun at the same time.
One last thing. I'm sorry, Coach. Right. Wednesday, you got a home win in the US Open Cup. How great that was. But there was a moment where Neil Villiers kind of held like a team circle there. Can you just speak about like that moment, just seeing the team kind of take, I guess, quote unquote, accountability of having that first home win underneath their belt, and what that means going forward?
These players know exactly how everybody feels. Richmond's a winning soccer culture. It's a winning sports culture. We know that. We're not fools. Everybody here is competitive. Nobody likes losing games. We know that in order to build the house, you have to have a foundation. And that's the first brick in the foundation. We're not ready to put up walls and roof yet. We're working slowly. And there's certainly flowers in the flower bed. That's going to take some time. People be patient with us. Guys like Neil know that. And adding Pablo, Neil and Pablo are the captains this year. And they're taking it to the ownership.
All right, cool. All good.